1, and we are recording. One of the original 30 guests, Nick Phelps, has put me in touch with Dick Phelps, who worked on Spacecraft over 50 years ago. You said you're 85 years old. And as I just told you, you have more energy than most of the people I talk to. It's like pulling teeth to get anything out of them. But please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Dick Phelps. Live in Remsen, New York. Navy veteran. Worked at General Electric for 36 years. They left Utica. I picked up a bunch of odd jobs after that, detailing cars. Had to do something, and now I just hang around, cut the grass, and Nick, can you this here?
Yeah.
Get that? I can't see his face. If that makes any difference.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, you're back. There was a thing, a little covering your face there.
I gotcha.
So, yep. You can edit that out. That's okay.
No, man. No. It's Ask Nick. It's a very informal podcast.
Yeah.
Now, which spacecraft was it? Which rover or craft was it?
We called them Viking Orbiter 75, VO 75, and then the other one went up in 76. So we built them at General Electric. The computer, apparently I read up on it. Boeing had a computer for different things. There were more than one computer. And like I told Nick, I'm not an engineer. I was a specialist. So what they would do with me in the lab, we worked with Jet Propulsion Lab out of Pasadena. They would send us what they wanted. Then our electrical mechanical engineers would have to design it to their specifications. And when they were happy with the design, then we would build a prototype. And we would test it as much as we could, to see if it would work. Of course, it wasn't under space conditions because you were right on Earth. So we would check them out. But the funny part of it is I've got a picture here I've given to Nick. He can probably send it to you. Oh, he sent it to you already.
Yeah.
Now you can see the computer, all the wiring and everything. Now that had a memory in it. So I read, I can't remember at the time, of 50 megabytes was, yep, that's it. Yep, you got it.
50 megabytes.
50 megabytes was the total thing. And it is still operating. Well, I can't say it's operating, but somehow they know where it is, or maybe they can get a command or two. But one of them is 13 billion and the other one is 11 billion miles from Earth. And they passed the ionosphere or something they call it. I don't know. There's a bubble around the Earth that's out there, and it took them 40 years to get there.
Kuiper belt?
Huh?
The Kuiper belt, is it?
Well,
I don't know. There's so many shells of the solar system.
And it finally, both of them have cleared there, and they're traveling. One's traveling at like 37,000 miles an hour. The other one's at 34. All the propellant, the gas and stuff has been used up, but they've got the inertia to go, and they're just going to continue to go at that speed.
Yeah.
And I read up on it this morning. I like to check on it. One of them said it will probably reach the first star that is capable of reaching in 140 years. So, and then it will start circling the, whatever they call it out there, stratosphere, or I don't know. But they said it'll be circling around for billions of years, just doing nothing, but it's out there. But you can see the size. Well, I'm talking size. You have the picture. Yes. What we had to do, now they have what they call microcircuits, like in the laptops we're talking on. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. The laptops, we would, in this unit, I can't remember, but I'd like to say there were 8 or 10 boards that were probably, 8 inches long, 5 or 6 inches high. And they were filled with what we call discrete components, resistors, capacitors, because there were no microcircuits. So you had a one board that probably maybe 100 of these, maybe 1,000 of these things, you could put in one microchip today.
Yeah.
It blows your mind,
Just insane.
Everything has got so tiny that, well, it's just the way it is. And as we build it, each part had to be weighed because the total weight of the thing couldn't go over so much. They only had so much thrust. So I suppose Boeing was probably doing the same thing, and all the other vendors were doing the same things. And they had to keep the weight within control. So we had a set of scales, and we built a little circuit, and before it got put into production, and say, okay, that's going to be okay. These 4 components, they only weigh so much, and they would categorize that and keep doing it until you finally did the whole thing. And the ladies that put these components on at GE, they were just, it was unbelievable the work they could do with their hands and a soldering iron. It was a work of art. They were artists.
Oh, yeah.
And these ladies weren't trained at all. They just got hired and they sent them to solder school, and then they would build these things. And when it got all done, each board, they would spray it what they call conformal coat, because you couldn't have moisture. I mean, these things were all out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
It's like taking your phone and open up the back of it today and dumping some water in. Well, everything here was conformal coated because you're going through how many temperature changes to get where it was going and everything. I don't know.
What you said about them being artists, that makes me think of 2 things. The first is Richard Rhodes, the historian who wrote about the atomic bomb and the hydrogen bomb. And he talked about when they were building the first hydrogen bomb in 52, Ivy Mike, they had to use gold leafing on the inside for some had the highest reflectivity, something smarter than me. I don't know how to build a hydrogen bomb. Surprising, I know. But they brought in an actual artist because they needed it bubble free. And so they have all these engineers with all their tools and equipment. And then they have this artist from like Italy or something in there. They had to give him a top secret classification, background check. And he's in there making this beautiful art, but it's a hydrogen bomb. And then the second example was the construction of NORAD, right? Northern Aerospace Cheyenne Mountain. And when they hollowed out the mountain, they didn't realize, and I didn't know this was possible, but the inside of the mountain was quote unquote rotten. Something was wrong with the granite, but they had already started this project and they didn't want to stop. So they brought in this guy, and they said he was halfway between like an engineer that knew how to blast rock and halfway between like Michelangelo. And so he came in, and again, they brought in this guy who wasn't Air Force. He was an artist because he knew how to delicately do things. And he walked in and he was like, you need this many charges here. You need this many pylons here. And they were like, you never would have thought in a million years. But I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? In two instances, you have artists who were involved with the construction of NORAD at the Cheyenne Mountain and the construction of the hydrogen bomb. And now you're talking about it with Viking. It is art.
Yep. Well, in that picture, you can see all the wires. They had what they call wire designers.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have to come in and figure out and then lay these wires out so that they would fit in there, and then they wouldn't come apart. Each pin that was in it, where the wire connected to the pin, they did what they called a pin retention. They had a little tool, and they'd push on that, and whatever the max was, if it pushed it out, then they would have to change the pin on what they called the motherboard, the bottom where all the other boards fit. And
Oh,
so every little item, every pin, everything, and that apparently is why it's still working. Well, I guess it was, they sent the first one up in 73. This picture says 73, so probably 74. It was supposed to get to Mars in 75, so it was probably sent up. So that's what, 47 years ago.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, 47 years. So apparently they did things right.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're talking about the pins. Right. What we're doing right now is episode 581. Back episode, I think 212. So about this time last year,
mhm.
I interviewed a doctor. I can't remember his first name. Rob Manning. Excuse me, chief engineer of JPL right now, and
Yep.
he wrote a book all about the newest rover. I forget what the newest one is, Opportunity or Curiosity, or I can never remember them. But he has this whole book, and they're going into it, and he's like it's simultaneously like the least complex and most complex thing ever. Like it's it's the least complex, and then he's like, you're building this thing with like wheels and a camera. He's like, we can
Mhm.
do that. That's nothing new. But
Yeah.
he's like, with like my phone, what does my phone really need to survive, right? It needs to survive however many finger touches, right? I think this newer version's waterproof, right? It can probably survive some falls, but I mean, right? I'm a 31-year-old living in a suburb. Like it doesn't, right? It's not rated for like military use, right? But
Yes.
with this rover, on the face value, it's just some wheels and a camera, right? I mean, I had those when I was a kid, but this, it has to survive takeoff. It has to survive going out of the atmosphere. It has to survive deep space. It has to survive radiation, re-entry, landing. Has to survive dust storms, the different humidity. So really, what it is you have to have this one thing that can survive all of these things, and you take the simplest thing and it turns into the most complex thing. And then, as anyone can imagine, you can't service it. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Oh, yeah.
And
Right.
you're talking about with the pins, he was
Yeah.
talking about with like the wafers, we were blasting it with radiation. Does it come apart? What happens when we get dust in a lens?
Yes.
It's art. It's art. It's absolutely art.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Well, it was funny too, because uh, I guess I probably mentioned we did the work for JPL, and they some of their engineers would come on site for a while, they'd leave and they'd come back. We got to know them all pretty good. And one day, it was in December, and three of them went out to lunch, and they come back and they were cracking up. Says, "What's going on?" Said, Cass, he had a little problem. What was the problem? Well, there's so much snow out there. He slid and he went up over the curb and into the grass. Well, we had 3 inches of snow, so that really bothered him coming from California. Didn't do any damage to anything, but he
Yeah.
just took the corner a little bit too fast,
Yeah.
just little things, they're these super smart engineers and he can't drive a car in 3 inches of snow.
But you know what? There's some beautiful symbolism in that, right? From California, brilliant
Yep.
engineer, can't survive 3 inches of snow.
Yep.
Super complex computer can do all
Yep.
this stuff. What happens when it runs into half an inch of Martian dust?
Yeah.
And it's what? It's a $10 billion rover and there is a sandstorm, but that's what happens. And it's, as you just talked about, can't handle the snow. And it's like, yeah, man, it's, I was born in New England, and, I remember living in, Georgia, and you get half an inch of snow and people
Oh,
would
yeah.
lose their minds. But that's
Yes.
kind of the same thing. We have this rover. It can
Yeah.
operate here on Earth. Great. What is it going to do on another planet?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, it's reflected there. It's
Yeah.
brilliant, can do anything. What
Mhm.
about a cloudy day on Mars?
Mhm.
It can't do that. What if
Yeah.
it slides? What if it takes a corner too fast? Granted, they go slow, but just again, metaphorically, what if it takes a corner too fast? Well, there's
Yeah.
no one there to flip it back over.
Well, that's right. Once it's gone, it's gone. Yep.
It's absolutely absurd. Now, when you look at like Viking, and then you look at what's happening today, I'm impatient. for no reason. I'm not owed anything. I'm impatient about everything. I'm like, I just want to see stuff move faster. What are your thoughts or opinions on seeing how we have progressed since you worked on Viking? Is it astonishing? Did you think it would go faster? It's I've interviewed Charlie Duke, who is the 10th man to walk on the moon, and you can kind of see it where it's impressive like what SpaceX is doing now, but at the same time, like he walked on the moon 51 years ago,
Yeah,
right? It's I think the fact that we haven't walked on Mars is a little unimpressive to him. So for you, are you, I want to what is your candid take today? Is it impressive what we're doing, or is it like, hey guys, chop chop?
well, I'm probably a little bit in between. I don't know. I've been out of the field for so long, yet I've seen the strides that have been made. But with some of the engineers that I worked with, uh, they could see so far into the future, things that I couldn't even dream of.
Yeah.
And to them, they were always looking over the horizon just a little bit to see what was going on. And me, I would just sit there and I would take their ideas and put them on a board. So I guess yes and no. Myself, it doesn't surprise me from the people that I worked with that it happened, although I would never been able to do it, you know. That's about it, I guess. I don't know. I know we've made gigantic stride. Well, like I said, a whole board, probably 6 or 8 of those boards in a little chip that'll fit in your cell phone,
Yeah.
and do twice as much.
Well, I mean, you said 50 megabytes. You can't see it, but right next to me, I have a couple hard drives connected to each other,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
kind of acts as one big thing. It's
Yeah.
100 terabytes.
Yes. Yes.
And
Oh, yeah.
it's the size of, I don't know, it's I don't know, foot long, 6 inches
Oh,
high,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
100 terabytes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. And what was it? Oh, I was thinking something. Oh, with that 50 megabytes, I don't know what it said on there. They had either 600 or 6,000 hard commands set on disks. There were like 12 disks in there or something. And so you only had, even say, a maximum of 6,000 commands. Well, how many commands can you give your computer or this or that?
Yeah.
A heck of a lot more than that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they were limited to size, memory, weight, something that had to work. It's just unreal to comprehend the strides that we have made.
It's kind of interesting in that, you know, your name is on the spacecraft, correct?
Yes, they supposedly took all the names, anybody that worked on it, we gave them their name and they put it on some kind of a disc. Yep.
So in a sense, you guys have achieved a sort of immortality that even the pharaohs couldn't, right? Because the pyramids will fall apart eventually.
Oh,
You,
yes.
you guys are floating out there in infinity. You're above King Tut. You're above all the kings and the popes who wanted to,
Oh, yeah.
Mount Rushmore.
Oh, yeah.
You ever
Yeah.
think about that? You guys are kind of you guys
Oh,
are
yeah.
in.
I was on another, I don't know, we did something GE did also that went to the moon, and we had our name on that. So it was left there. They left it there on whatever the craft was. So my name's on the moon and my name's out in space, but nobody out there knows who the heck I am. So, but I know who I am.
Exactly. Who cares? You know what's out there. It doesn't matter. You know what's out there. That's
like you said, for infinity, these Vikings are going to be, they're going to be forever out there.
yeah.
Maybe someday, in maybe there's I'd like to believe there's another place like Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, and maybe they're way ahead of us. And they will get out there and say, well, what's this crazy looking thing?
What's this thing
Oh,
floating around?
then they got to find somebody that knows English, and that might be hard to do too. So
Yeah, yeah. It's one thing I always like to think about, like a cool sci-fi movie would be like if we were doing an archaeological dig and we found like a rover, like a
uh-huh.
like a Mars rover, but if we found it, like a mile under the earth, and it
Yeah.
was like it's some extinct species that was looking at, and they would have their names in like hieroglyphics or whatever language they use.
Oh,
But
sure.
I
Yeah.
mean, but you got to imagine, I mean, right? I mean, if you're sufficiently advanced enough, right? I mean, back to NORAD. NORAD can detect, I think the number is insane. There's a great documentary on it, but it sounds like a number some kid just made up, but it's accurate. They NORAD, because they can monitor things up to, at least declassified, up to 23,000 miles out in every direction. So a big sphere, 46,000 miles across. It's 21 trillion cubic miles that they can detect anything. Forget about a Cessna or a 740, every piece of space debris. Well, let's extrapolate that. Just like we go from 50 megabytes to 100 terabytes, eventually an alien civilization would become advanced enough that you could detect every little thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you could scan everything, and 99.999999999% of it would be rocks and ice, but
Mhm.
something's going to pin back and it's going to be like, what the heck is that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll monitor it and they'll find it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because they know, the asteroids, they know everything,
Mm-hmm.
all the rocks and everything, but they'll say, boy, this thing just doesn't look like anything we've ever seen.
Yeah,
Who knows? They might be able
yeah,
to go capture it,
yeah.
Uh,
Geometric, it's got sharp edges, it's got some
mhm,
metal on it, it's got an old power source. Yeah, they're
mhm.
gonna find it. They're gonna say, who the hell is Dick?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
now I don't know if, I guess this is more philosophical. The guys that worked on that saw everything over the horizon, they could, they looked so far ahead and they just saw things that you couldn't. That's how my dad is. My dad sees things 10 moves ahead that I'm like, how did you see that?
Mhm.
And I don't know if you could answer this. How did how did those guys fare in just like their personal lives? Did that carry over? Did they, or was that something that was like hyper, like Michael Jordan's a fantastic basketball player, but apparently he's not like a very nice guy.
Mhm.
Is did that carry over into their lives? Did they were they great investors? Did they know what to look for? Were they fantastic parents? Not, I mean, who can pass judgment on that, but it's just kind of a curious side question.
Most of the guys I worked with, the majority of them were good guys. I mean, every once in a while, in my opinion, there's a couple guys I can think of that I didn't have much use for. Other guys thought he was all right. Other guys didn't. But overall, most of the guys were pretty decent fellows and never had any problems with them. Uh, I was thinking of something else when you were talking, and my mind isn't as good as it used to be, but uh,
Nonsense. It doesn't matter. I lose my train of thought all the time. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
Um, and I guess this is more of like a personal question.
yeah,
So I'm 31. This has nothing to do with Viking. I'm 31. I
yeah.
look back at myself, uh, you know, 5 years ago, 6 years. I lost my when I was 23 back in 2014. I lost my older brother to suicide unexpectedly, and
Sorry.
oh, it's what it is. It's
Yes, yeah,
but I look back and I look at all the things I was concerned about at the time. I just graduated college. I was getting ready to go to medical school. I had a girlfriend, and all the little things I was worried about. I got to pay off my student loans. I got a XYZ. I got a whatever.
mhm,
And then, I lost him. And if I could go back and talk to 23-year-old me, I'd be like, you're worrying about all this other stuff that I know you think is the center of your universe, but there's something right next to you, your brother, that it's going to be gone soon. And I can't help but think I'm 31 right now. I'm very obsessed, as Nick knows, I'm very obsessed with working on this podcast. I want it to turn to a big enterprise. I want to make money on it, and I want to do philanthropy and all that good stuff. I
mhm.
can't help but feel that a future me is looking back at me and going, that's all well and good, but ABC, XYZ, it's, there's something else. You, you're you're 54 years older than me. Looking back, what advice would you give to me, or what direction, or is it something that I say what I could tell 23-year-old me, but the reality is if I went back and told 23-year-old me, he wouldn't listen because he would just have to learn firsthand. What would you tell someone my age, just in general, not little things like you should invest in this, but is there any overarching themes that you wish you knew at 31?
Uh, all I can say is get yourself a good woman.
That's beautiful.
We've been married 56 years. We pick on each other. We have our little faults, but I don't know what I would do without her. It's just, we've got a great family. If you got somebody that you can lean on and they can lean on you and be happy with, sure, there's material things, but with us, I don't know.
That's the most perfect answer.
Mm-hmm.
That just warmed my heart.
Yep.
That was beautiful. I don't know. I think that might be the natural conclusion of this podcast. Is there anything I haven't touched on?
Not really. I don't know. I was trying to look at some of the guys. One of the guys in the picture that was sitting down, his name was Ellis Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He retired in 1979, and he had 41 years with General Electric at the time. He had started out in Schenectady because GE came to Utica in 1951. And the day he retired, he said, Phelpsy, I'm going to tell you something that you'll never forget. And I said, what's that, Ellis? He said, youth is wasted on the young.
How do you, there's really nothing to work with on that though, right? I mean,
well, they don't realize when they're young, when you get old, you can't move, you can't do this, you can't do that. But when you're young, you just do it, so.
it's one of the memories I always think back at. It's bittersweet is I remember I was at my uncle Bob. I was at his lake house. This was like 2005. I was just entering high school. My older brother, who eventually I would lose, was just entering college. So I was 14. He was 18.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we were sitting on the back porch, and it was my mom, my dad, aunts and uncles, and they're all sitting around. And they were all talking about like, oh, it was just yesterday. We were so young. And I remember John and I were looking at each other. And I looked at John and I go, come on, John, let's go enjoy our youth. And we started laughing. We got up and we walked away.
Yeah.
But I look back at it and it was like, I had no idea I only had, 9 more years with him. And it was like, we were kind of making a joke at them, but all these old people. But then I look back and I'm like,
oh yeah,
I had no idea that he was the one I was going to lose. Everyone else that was there, they're all still alive, 60s, 70s, they're all fine.
Yeah.
And I mean, youth is wasted on the young. And it's
mm-hmm. And it's just something I never forgot.
Yeah.
He was right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that advice you gave me, right? Because anything else, you can't learn it. If you were, you should do this, you should do that. Well, I'm not going to listen. You're right. It's like that quote, by the time a son realizes his dad was right, he has a son who thinks he's wrong. And it's like no one ever gets to learn the wisdom and act on it.
Yes.
But you did just give a piece of advice that's kind of like a cheat code. It is. I can still act on it. Find yourself a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. Hopefully I can do that. But
yep.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I want to throw one thing in.
Sure.
Well, we've talked a long time, but
no. Like I said, I normally go an hour. I don't want to keep you.
No, well, where have I got to go?
Well,
You
where
know,
have I got to go? What are any of us doing? I don't know. I can keep talking, man.
yeah, when I was in school, my 8th grade teacher told me that he said, Mr. Phelps, you're very loquacious. And I said, Mr. Manning, what's that mean? He says, you go look it up in that big dictionary in the library. Well, I had to get up on the steps. They had this like a podium that the president would speak on. There's this gigantic dictionary. And then I've had to figure out how to spell it and go through. Well, I found it, and it says, one who talks a lot and says very little.
Should have run for office, right?
Yeah. Well, I did, but I'm the wrong party in my town, so I got beat. So
Yeah. Well,
that was a long time ago.
well, hey,
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell with me, right? I mean, I got the gift of the gab. I mean, I can almost talk as much as Nick's friend, Dan Libby, who never shuts up. Nick, you know that. And Nick, Nick, why don't you hop in?
For what?
Just come on in. Come join the party.
Yes.
Well, how do you hope?
What's going on, buddy?
How's it going? How you been?
I'm doing very good, thank you. I'm been doing the podcast. Now, Nick, because you know more of this than I do, what are some other sort of pertinent things about Viking that I haven't touched on? Because oftentimes when I'm should have it on a friend and I can, we're just shooting the shit. But this is like a technical thing where I don't want to look back on this and say, shit, I should have asked him this. I should have asked him that.
Actually, right now on, I think it's Hulu or HBO Max, there's a series called Space Probes. They talk about from Mars rover to everything. And the first one is about the Vikings. So every picture that we've seen of the planets up close are from this computer
That's
and
insane.
that spacecraft.
That is insane.
Or it went through the Saturn's rings and they thought it was like a mist and it ended up being little stones, little stuff like that. I mean,
Oh yeah.
going around the moons. I mean, it's crazy. There's so much information that's come about. I mean, every picture that we saw us, his son's 15 years plus older than me. All the pictures that we saw of all the planets were from this, like when we were in kindergarten.
Yeah.
The poster of the planets, it's from this. So world history about space and nature is from these spacecraft.
That is absolutely insane.
Viking took the first pictures of Mars that were ever taken. So we did that first. So there was a lander, and that was probably part of the Boeing because they do the flying stuff and everything. But yep.
That's now, does it, we kind of talked about how it's floating out there and you have that sort of immortality that the pharaohs couldn't dream of. Is it weird? Because Nick, you're right. I mean, right now we have more and more probes and they're getting better pictures. But yeah, I mean, growing up in the 90s and 2000s, yeah, going to school and looking at the book, there's only so many pictures from there and they were probably from there. Is there any part of you is it just weird, or I don't know how to pose this question. Is it odd seeing that, knowing that you were at the forefront of such a momentous piece of history, or do you see it and it's just like, oh yeah, is it like me? I don't know. Nick, do you get what I'm trying to ask? Is there any sort of, are you still astonished by it, or have you become desensitized to it where you're like, yeah, that's what I worked on?
Were you talking to Nick or me?
Well,
kind of both.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
So for me, like, it's one of those things. It's like when I was doing RPAs or doing interrogations, I'm like, I got this super bad guy in front of me. What I'm about to do is insane, push it up through and hopefully get it approved. And when I'm in that moment, no. When you kind of look at it, you're like, yep, that's right. And then you just kind of like move on. It's just one of those things for me that I've done, especially, for flying. We see a lot of ops and stuff happen, bad guys being taken out, or writing manuals. They're still used today. it's just kind of one of those things that pride is there. It's that self-pride that we never really take. And when it comes time to tell your story, that's kind of like when it comes out.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's for me, like it's there. I mean, I knew of it, but now looking back, like as a kid, seeing this stuff and knowing exactly what it was, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
some pretty cool history.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got like I've interviewed that Tony Tedeschi, a firefighter who responded to the World Trade Center call on 9/11. And it's not until 20 years later that he really kind of appreciates the magnitude of it. Because at the time, it was just another day at work. Alarms went off, and it was like, let's do this thing. But I mean, I don't know. I think maybe that's my own ego. Maybe that's my own ego poking through. I'm like, if I knew my name was on a spacecraft out there forever, and it doesn't matter if anyone else knew, but if my name was out there, but your name's on a spacecraft and on the moon. I mean, that is like the apex of the elite.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know when they told us that they were going to do that, we were all so thrilled, that boy, my name's going to the moon. This is just fantastic. I mean, I don't think about it every day now because so many years, but
Yeah.
I know it's in the back of my mind.
Yeah. Absolutely insane.
Yep.
So Tommy, he was telling me about the picture, what was going on in the picture, and how it was taken very candidly. He's actually the one holding the manual, charging the other guys around, when real life it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, probably because I'm one who talks a lot and says very little, so
Yeah.
So they gave me the book. Myself and the guy to my left, we were the technicians. And then the next guy going around counterclockwise, he was the lead electrical, Ron Lambert. And he was a genius. I mean, the guy, and just every morning, come on, Phelpsy, we're going for coffee, so we'd sit there and have our coffee and our donut. And the next one, Joe Pintar, he came in, he was electrical engineer. Yep.
For everybody watching, I'll just put that up there.
He was our electrical. He came in from Michigan. We used to get, because GE opened in 51 there. And so we were getting engineers and technicians from Michigan, Indiana, all over the place. And then Ellis Davis there, he graduated from, I think it was not Penn State, probably University of Pennsylvania. He was from Pennsylvania. But like I said, he worked at Schenectady for mucho years before he came to Utica. But he was a great mechanical engineer, just a great guy. Well, like I said, most everybody I worked with were good guys. Yep, and ladies.
And women, yeah.
We even had, while I was there, we had our first lady engineer come to GE, and there were a lot of people that weren't too happy that they let her in there. And
yeah,
Jean Green, her name was, and she was a super. In fact, she taught school at one of our 2-year colleges also, and she was a great lady, but she wasn't too welcome when she first came, and she was breaking the barrier.
Well, sure.
Lady electrical engineer, no, they can't know anything. Why would they know anything?
Well, no, absolutely. I mean, Eisenhower used to talk about that with like nuclear drills. They'd be, if they all had to go to the bunker, they're like, we're not bringing the women. Like, women don't do war. It was just what it was. It was a different time, not right, not wrong. It's just, it's just what it was. Yeah. It's kind of insane thinking about that, yeah, like if that happened today, that would light the world on fire.
Yep. I'm in the local fire department. I have been for 60 years now. And I'm fire police captain. I don't go to any fire calls, anything like that. In fact, I don't have the gear. They wouldn't want me there, and I don't want to be there. But we have accidents, and if it's not too cold out or it's not raining too hard, then I'll go to the accident, but whatever. But the same thing happened with us probably about 10, 15 years ago. ladies wanted to join the fire department. And boy, all guys that were older than me, they're not around anymore, but they did not want any part of that. No, why would a woman want to be in a fire department?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, we've got some awful good firefighters. In fact, there was a picture. We've got a drill place up north of us here. They were down with a ladder truck. And one of the ladies, she went up the ladder there last night. They got a picture of it on Facebook. So she's way up in the bucket. So she they said, oh, she finally got up there, you know. So just times change, you know. I was never against change, but a lot of guys were. But
well, that seems to just kind of be the story of history, though, right? It seems insurmountable, it seems impossible, and then it's fought, and then it becomes more common, and then it's normalized, and then you don't even think twice about it, right? I mean, I interview a lot, as Nick knows, I interview a lot of military guys, and right now you can see their opinions, you know, special forces guys, and they're talking about, you know, women trying to join special forces. And it's interesting seeing their side of it, right? Because as you're talking about the guys at GE, like, women can't be here.
yeah.
So, you know, if you on the surface level, if you just hear got these, you know, these military guys say, you know, women can't be with us on surface level, you're like, oh, you're just resistant to change. But then, and I'm not saying it's right and I'm not saying it's wrong, it's interesting to hear their justification. And it's, hey, it's a bunch of guys out there and you're on your own and you can't make any noise and you're all sleeping together. You can't have, you know, a guy and a girl getting frisky out there on a, you know, a special operation or something. Or, you know, what happens if I get shot and you have to carry me? And on one side, it's like, oh, you're a bigot, you don't want a woman there. And then on the other side, you're looking at, you're like, well, here are these guys, and they do have very like rational explanations for, you know, it could result in death. But yeah, you're right. Now, with any of the technology you guys used, and I'm not sure, I guess I've never really thought about it, was any of that stuff classified at the time, or do you not
The Viking project wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So
I was on many, I had a super secret clearance for different jobs that I won't even talk about at GE. So it's been a long time and they're probably declassified now, but
Yep, hush is hush.
Yep, you never talk about them.
No, sorry, Tommy.
Hey,
but you're not gonna get it.
Yes.
I respect it.
And my father too, in the Navy and stuff that he did too, is just kind of, you know, can't do it.
That y'all are in that inner temple. You're in the know. You're the high priests. But
In fact, one of the jobs I was on, they sent me to a place. I won't even tell you where that was. And when I got back, we had one secure room where we worked. But it was funny, my manager wasn't cleared for the job. So he grabbed me in the hall and he said, Dick, I haven't got your expense account. And I said, no, you haven't. And he says, well, how are you going to get paid? I said, it's all been taken care of. Well, who did it? I'm your manager. I said, it was taken care of. Just don't worry about it. Well, that used to bug him. I tell him, because I worked in one place and then they call me up, say, Phelpsy, you got to come over here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to go over there. Where are you going? I says, I can't tell you. He said, you know, I'm getting tired of this. That's the way it was.
It's the military equivalent of the mafia. You don't even know. It's taken care of.
Yeah.
Shut up. Stop asking questions.
Oh, there's stuff that we did flying that we were SAP, like a special access program.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Actually, the seal that recovered the Predator, where you said you get to blow up the top secret.
Deadeye.
That's SAP access.
Yeah.
He was read in. I'm actually working with those aircraft and had to be, you know, to get the parts off of them that need to be
100%.
They're obviously read in, but like for us flying, like we don't know. We're just told to push buttons. You know, when it actually comes time to actually use that stuff, it was SAP access and couldn't really. I
was gonna say, you guys both just looked off screen. I was like, oh no, we said SAP access, and now the guys in the black Suburbans are here.
in Remsen, New York. Yeah.
Hey man, I wouldn't question it. Now, and I'm a lot better than I used to be. I used to be annoying about it, but now I respect it more. So I won't push past this question, but just on a very informal, very general, as loose as you can get with this highly classified stuff, is it as cool as someone like I would imagine? And I don't know if that's loose enough to ask. Is it something where you get it and you go, I mean, it's kind of, or are you like, oh, wow.
No, mine really wasn't. Oh, wow. I had to, well, even though I was on that crew, I had to ask some questions, and then some of them said, well, Phelpsy, that's a little bit above what you got to know.
Ah.
So I couldn't even know, but I knew basically what was going on and why it was going on. And I thought, well, it's nice to be part of it anyway. So,
Sure.
yep.
Perfectly said. It's like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. I get it. That connects about 40 dots that I want to connect it, knowing that one thing. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Moving on.
All right, let's just get to it. Do we have aliens? Do we have flying saucers? Let's cut the shit.
Didn't we talk about this last time? I was talking about time travel.
I think so.
Well, think about it. If you travel in time from where you're sitting right now, where we're sitting right now in Remsen.
Oh, yeah, space time. Yeah.
80,000 years, we're going to be under ice.
Well, no, you're not, because you're not even going to be on Earth, because Earth is traveling.
Well, if you can pinpoint exactly where the Earth is going to be, and you're traveling.
Sure. Okay.
In this spot on this planet.
All right. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
You're going to be under ice. So why not do it 100,000 feet up where it looks like UFOs?
Oh. What do you know, Dick? You're giving me a look. What do you know? What's that at Area 51? Spill the beans.
I'm just wondering what you're dwelling on. Your brain was turning there, trying to think of what's he talking about. Or
I know about the sausage.
No. This is my own watching. I think
I believe things are out there myself.
Yeah, there's something.
There's something out there. I mean, why should we be the only ones?
Exactly. My theory on, and I've brought this up before. My theory on like Roswell is, I remember back in 8th grade, me and my friends, we were 14, and we were at my friend's house, and we were like shooting bottle rockets onto other people's lawns, and they were lighting on fire, and we'd have to put them out, and braces, bolt cuts, and we saw lights in the distance, and so we all went and like hid like under his front porch, and like a cop car drove by. And, at the time, because we're all kids, we're like, oh, man, we're going to jail. But, that cop is probably just like, I got to go do this. So these, 10-year-olds go to bed. And it was in a cul-de-sac, right? And the cop car came from a couple miles away. So they got to the cul-de-sac. They didn't know what house we were in, but they knew that we were in this general area because they saw the fireworks. They heard the explosions. So they came by and kind of, flashlight. All right. And it was like 10 minutes later. So we have time and space. It was about 10 minutes later. And they got very close to where we were in the general vicinity. They didn't know which house. It's about 6 houses on the cul-de-sac, but they got in and around there, right? All right. So some kids playing with explosives. The cops show up a little later in time and pretty close in space. So just hold that model. What is Roswell? Roswell's 119 miles from Alamogordo, New Mexico. July 1947 is 2 years and 1 week from July 1945, when we detonated the first nuclear bomb in Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Which he's been alive for every single one detonated.
That's beautiful.
Oh, yes.
On and off this planet.
So, yeah, Starfish Prime.
Yeah.
But think about it. So some kids, some humans with explosives, nuclear weapons, time, 2 years later, space. 119 miles of the entire Earth. The alleged UFO crashed 119 miles. To me, that sounds like some cops coming by with a flashlight because some kids were using explosives. That's my theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never even thought about that.
Yeah. I didn't either.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you were to ever visit humanity and you never made a visit before, And all of a sudden you came, of all of human history, you came 2 years later, and of the entire world.
And you have a flat tire.
Yeah, right, yeah. You came right there where the first A bomb went off, a thing that does do a gamma flash that would go through space. I don't know, man. Kind of seems like the cops buzzing by, like, all right, what are you kids doing?
Yeah,
Never even thought about that
no,
one.
something to think about.
I,
Yep.
I thought it was interesting. It's just of all of human history, it's July 47, and of the entire world, 119 miles
Mhm,
right there.
mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like Dick knows something that he's not letting on.
Well, I know I was around in July of 47.
I know I was not.
And 49,
I know.
and 39, and 38, and 36.
You're burning me. But
Jesse Owens run the Germans right into the ground in the year I was born.
yeah,
Hitler said that he could never win anything, and he won the whole thing.
yeah, no, that's one of my favorite pictures is Jesse Owens standing in first place
Yeah.
in front of those two Aryans. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yep.
great.
Yeah. You got you. Do you want to? It's 7 minutes till 5, so let's go for the last 7 minutes. So another thing I've thought about, UFOs is as I do try to look at it and like, let's look at it as like a military thing. So we just use the whole cops doing a drive-by, but we can do another thing that is pretty similar to atomic or thermonuclear weapons, right? What is it really? It's highly classified. It has the power to end the war. And then when we move from the atomic bomb to the hydrogen bomb, we have to beat the Soviets because this is 1,000 times stronger. It's a technology used to impose your will on the rest of the world. It's right, the monkey with the sharpest spear, the human with the biggest boat, with the biggest sails, the strongest cannons, the best muskets, the machine gun, the biplane, the Spitfire, the jet engine, the overflights, the satellites, the cyber. It's always right. It's all about having the best, most least lethal weapon and keeping it secret so no one else knows. And that's how right. It's a zero-sum world where we're animals that run on food and water and shelter and health. Whoever has the best weapons wins. So let's look at, the excuse always given is, well, if the government had UFOs, they couldn't tell the people because the people would go crazy. I don't think it's that. I think what it is it's a technology no different than an A-bomb that you would want to keep quiet because whoever has the ability to control this has the ability to control the world. But unlike classified weapons programs, SAP access, where it's classified so other people can't have it, but we know it because we built it, it's a weird kind of wrench in the system. What if it was so advanced that you could rule the world? But here's the catch. We don't know how it works. So it's this sort of like, it's like if you found a lockbox, I'm holding on to it, but I don't know how to open it. But I know that if I have it, you don't have it. That's how I look at it. It doesn't have to be this fantastical, it's, little green men from outer space. No, like it's just a very advanced weapon that we found. It'd be like if you dropped a sniper rifle back into the 1500s. Any smart enough person would go, hold on to that, and let's try to figure out how this thing works. To me, it's no different. It kind of demystifies it. You'd go, oh, this is just a super advanced technology. Of course, they're going to hide it away outside some desert and bring in, and compartmentalize it and bring in scientists to look at it. And it's kind of tricky because you can't let the scientists see everything because you don't want anyone to know how it works. So you're bringing in a guy smarter than you to look at it, but you can't let him see everything because he also can't know all of it. So, but Nick, to what you said, and he had a flat tire, doesn't that kind of raise your eyebrow? This super advanced technology that allegedly came here, it crashed? Doesn't that, I don't know, man. It kind of seems like maybe it's not the cops coming by and going, are you guys playing with explosives? Maybe it's the cops coming by and going, firecrackers are fun. Here's a brick of C4. You really want to get going? is it them going, you've passed the nuclear threshold? Here's a flying saucer. We'll crash it. But is it walking by and is it, dropping the blueprint saying you're ready?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it. We're in the technology age. There's a Stone Age, there is Middle Ages,
Bronze,
everything, right? We're in the technology age. Since 47, look how much technology has boomed. Granted, we stole all the German scientists and put them down in Alamogordo, and Roswell actually. But look at how technology has evolved. From the MacBook that we're using right here, which I use pretty much solely for doing my time lapses because Mac is actually good at handling photos, compared to a desktop computer he has sitting over there, to a Bluetooth mouse that has probably more memory in it than Voyager. That does more commands. Well, yeah, because the dots.
Yeah.
It has to be able to read. The little thing on your mouse does more commands than the Voyager does.
Yeah.
That's 1200 DPI. That's 1200 commands it's looking at.
Yeah. I mean,
yes. This is more advanced than Voyager. Yes. So, or Viking. So look how technology has progressed and continued progressing. And we're now using precious metals differently. That's why you get so much money for returning your cell phone, because all the precious metals. Could it be that we took that technology and, hey, this is how it works, but we don't have the resources or materials to do it.
Yeah.
Now we can advance it forward.
Yeah. It's have you ever read The Day After Roswell by Lieutenant Colonel I can't remember, Philip Corso?
No, I haven't.
Who worked in the Pentagon. Even there are pictures of him with Eisenhower. And but no, his whole thing is that's what it is. That's where microprocessors came from. That's where computer chips came from. That's where fiber optics came from. And he said that they were tasked by the Pentagon to reverse engineer it and then kind of insert it covertly into American industry. And I mean, what else happened in 47? Creation of the CIA, creation of the Air Force, creation of the first National Security Act. It kind of gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
You forgot one. I turned 11.
and Dick Phelps turned 11. The most momentous of them all. Forget the Air Force.
And my mother was born that year too.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm not dating her or anything, but
you just did. That was very rude of you.
She'll get over it.
Yeah. Well, Dick Phelps, thank you so much. Nick, thank you for putting us in touch. Thank you for giving me an hour of your time, man. I mean, I realize that more and more as these go on, it's not just thank you for doing it. Thank you for giving me an hour of your time. And I know you know about UFOs, and I won't push it further.
I'm waiting for it to come out from the stimulus last year or start of the year. I'm waiting.
Yeah, that was a nothing burger.
Yeah.
They're not.
Oh, it was, but they hid it away somewhere. It's out there.
They did. I don't know. I think we'll find out sooner or later. I mean, what else would I think that you have a brilliant hypothesis though. Yeah, where else would you do it? You do it 100,000 feet up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absurd. Dick Phelps, thank you. Nick Phelps, thank you.
Tom, thank you.
Tom, blow it out your ass. Thank you.
Do you see how he treats me? I know.
Yeah, it's how we are. It's
my wife chewed him out on account of his mouth.
Yeah.
Well, you should. It's very rude. My mom,
nice.
My mom's gonna punch my teeth down if I keep using the F word. It's terrible.
Yeah, I was looking at Tommy one day and his mom walks in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the only episode my mom said.
No remorse with this Tommy.
Yeah, and my mom came in. We
had talked a little bit.
Yeah, she gave me a plate of dinner. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely.
Keep it on. Keep doing this. I'll tell you every time.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I do appreciate it. And if by any chance, sometime in the future, it doesn't need to be soon, if you would be interested in another one, I have two friends, Warren S. Peter and Aaron Shepard, both who worked for NASA. I've had them both come on and talk with Charlie Duke. They're absolute science nerds. They are NASA history buffs. They've worked at NASA. Both of them have worked on spacecraft. Warren is currently working on spacecraft out in Colorado. I think that they would be absolutely delighted to meet you if that's just something to consider. If at any point in the future you'd like to, you don't have to. It's
Oh, yeah, they're way above me, but I wouldn't mind talking.
no,
to
they're
them.
not. Trust me, these
Well,
guys.
I mean, they're,
No,
yeah,
No.
like I said, I wasn't an engineer and I didn't know how a lot of things worked. I just put them together.
we're all faking it in this life. None of us know how anything works. I fake it and I act like I know what I'm doing. I have no idea how any of this works. Don't put yourself down.
Yeah.
I mean, no one knows less than Nick. I mean, Nick, he
Huh? What?
Nick's gonna kick my ass. Nick Phelps, Dick Phelps. Thank you so much, Nick. I will text you. Well, I'll text my two buddies. I will legitimately, I'm not just saying that, I would legitimately love to do another one. I think they would love to pick your brain. And yeah, man, that was a brilliant talk. And never forget, it wasn't that it was Roswell or the creation of the CIA. 1947 was the year you turned 11. And that is the momentous moment of history. Forget flying saucers. You were 11.
Yes.
Thank you so much. God
Okay.
bless.
All right,
God
Tom.
bless America. Stay
Yep.
safe, everyone. Nick, I'll send you the link when it's up. Dick, very nice to meet you. Take
Yep.
care, guys.